Happy Thursday, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here with another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. Please visit the website, fireyourmdnow.com. Click on the longevity button and join us. Join our coalition of the friendly. Join our coalition of the informed. Join our coalition of grassroots movement in order to get your health back, to take this country out of the depths of despair, of health misery and financial misery, and bring yourself into the light of medical nutrition and financial freedom. And we're going to do this with the longevity business model. What does the longevity business model offer you? It offers you a very simple system in which you can show our message of health recovery through science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition to everybody in your life, and so that they can get on board with our protocols which support and promote the health of their bones, the health of their joints, the health of their skin. They can lose the weight that's necessary in a healthy way and keep it off real time. Help their bones and joints, help their heart, help their blood sugar. They can get out from beneath the wheel of physical suffering, get out from beneath the wheel of pharmaceutical dependence, get out from underneath the wheel of feeling like crap, and start to optimize their life and then make some money to boot. We're going to change the world, ladies and gentlemen. That's why longevity exists. It exists to change the paradigm, to change the way that people think about health. People think now that the only possible thing that they can do to recover their health is to visit an MD and get a pharmaceutical agent or surgery, and it's just wrong, because pharmaceuticals and surgery at best can only manage disease. And that's why our health is going nowhere fast, and that's why MD-directed medical treatments are currently the leading cause of death in the United States. Now, let's talk about weight loss, because that's what we're up to today. We have a very special caller calling all the way from Hawaii. I'm going to bring her on in about 2 minutes. One thing I need to stress with everybody here is that anyone can starve themselves and lose weight. But to achieve permanent and, most importantly, healthy weight loss, you need to accompany a limited calorie diet with the 90 essential nutrients. And this is our message. Our message is plain and simple and clear, because nobody else views the whole concept of weight gain through a holistic lens. Everybody misses the point completely. Everybody else, that includes Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig, they've all thrown the baby out with the bathwater. And I'm not even going to talk about the bariatric MD specialists who specialize in weight gain. Their solution is to cut your stomach out. That's just nonsense. Or to amp you up with amphetamines. That's just nonsense. The simple fact of the matter that everybody has missed is the notion that the only thing that makes people gain weight, it's not hormones, it's not genes, it's not lack of exercise. The only thing that makes people gain weight is they eat too many calories. Why do people eat too many calories? Because their bodies are nutritionally starved. When your body is nutritionally starved, the wisdom of the body knows that it's nutritionally starved. And so your body-mind forces you to eat in the desperate attempt to regain the nutrients that your body is lacking. But the food that you eat doesn't have the nutrients necessary. So you'll go to Olive Garden, you'll eat 3,000 calories, and 3 hours later, you're hungry again. And then your MD tells you, oh, you know, you're weak-willed, or you're just lazy, or you have the fat gene, or whatever, and it's nonsense. What do you do to get on the other side of this, catch-22 situation, this merry-go-round of weight loss, weight gain, weight loss, weight gain? It's simple. You provide your body with the nutrition that it needs to take care of its business. And when your body is nutritionally replete, when your body is nutritionally satisfied, you don't crave calories. You don't. So you've got two choices. You can go on a crash diet. You can force yourself to eat a limited calorie diet. You can suffer the pain of eating a limited calorie diet. You can bring your willpower to bear on that phenomenon, and you'll be successful for about 6, 8, maybe 10, maybe 12 weeks. That's it. After a while, though, Mother Nature's going to come a-knocking, and while you've been forcing and suffering through 1,200 calories a day without any nutrition, can't sleep at night, having bad dreams, got no energy during the day, can hardly drag yourself out of bed, it's a struggle, it's a fight all day long. Instead of that, when you nutritionally satisfy your body, eating 1,200 calories a day is a breeze. It is easier than falling off a potato truck. Quite frankly, you have to remind yourself to eat. That's how easy it is. And this is our message. In order to lose weight with ease, what's required is one healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, one bottle of Ultimate Selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, and 1,200 calories a day. But those calories cannot include the 10 foods that we have categorized as harmful and bad for you. And to get that list, it's free, by the way. Just go to my website. On the front page of the website, fireyourmdnow.com. Sign up for my free weekly newsletter. And after you hit the submit button, we will send you access to a hidden page on my website that only you can see, that gives you the list of the good food, bad food, and a little video that explains why. And this is free, ladies and gentlemen. So make yourself replete with the 90 essential nutrients, eliminate the 10 bad foods, and life is good. And as testimony to this, we're talking to Alethea all the way from Hawaii. She has a fantastic story. I'm going to hand it over to her now. Alethea, welcome aboard. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. Thanks for having me.
Or should I say, aloha.
Aloha.
So tell us all what part of Hawaii you live in, because we're all tremendously jealous.
Oh, well, I live in Honolulu, which is on the island of Oahu, although I grew up on the big island in Kona.
Very good. So you are a lifelong resident of Hawaii, is that correct?
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Right. Oh, well, good, very good. So now we really all are jealous. Tell us a little bit about your history with weight and your experience with longevity.
Well, I've always struggled ever since, I believe, middle school. And, you know, a lot of it really just had to do with the way I ate. I've always had, you know, kind of a sweet tooth. And so even though I was constantly playing sports growing up, you know, I always did basketball, soccer, golf, all throughout high school, but I was still always heavy. And, you know, I just didn't really quite know why. I just always kind of felt hungry. And so, you know, going into college, I was able to lose some weight just through, you know, really restricted diet and working out 6 times a week. But, you know, after maybe 6 months, I had gained quite a bit back. And then after a year, I'd gained a lot of it back. And, you know, after a certain point, I'd gained all of it back. And, you know, so it's one of those diets that wasn't maintainable. And so, you know, I had kind of slowly started slipping into a slump. I didn't want to weigh myself anymore. And so, you know, one day, last year, actually, I believe it was January, my boyfriend, you know, told me about you, Dr. Glidden, and longevity, and he said, you really have to listen to one of the webinars. And so I went on and I listened to the obesity one, and it just really struck a chord with me. Everything you said made a ton of sense. You know, you talked about how the reason we get hungry so much and that we crave so many bad things is because we're nutrient deficient. And so once I heard that, that really you know, it basically struck a match and got me really excited. And so I signed up right away to, you know, get the weight loss pack. And, you know, ever since then, I've just kind of been on this path and learning as I go about how best to nutrify my body. And yeah, I've had some great results this past year.
All right, well, listen, let's talk about brass tacks. So how much weight have you lost and how long did it take? Over the course of last year, I lost about 50 pounds. And to be fair, it wasn't all, you know, steadily throughout the year. I have gradually lost weight just from going gluten-free. Like before I ever did the ASAP program, I had already lost, I believe, about 8 pounds just, you know, from gluten-free diet and from walking to and from work, which is less than a mile each way. So it's no strenuous type of exercise at all. And so really it's just been a matter of incorporating the
the Healthy Start Pack into my diet is what's kind of given me the biggest boost.
All right, so you've lost 50 pounds to date. What's your target? Do you have a target? Was 50 pounds your target? I mean,
no.
What's the future look like here?
I'm actually about halfway to my first goal because, I started off wanting to lose 100 pounds. So I'm only about halfway there, so I still have quite a bit of work to do this year.
Well, it's okay with small steps at a time. And I have to reinforce this notion, ladies and gentlemen. We have gotten used to being a quick fix society. We're used to, quick everything. Take the Advil, and 15 minutes later the headache's gone, right? Take the Tylenol, and 15 minutes later the knee pain is gone. And, get on the quick weight loss program, lose a pound a minute. And it's nonsense. Because when your body loses weight quickly and rapidly, like a pound a day, it stresses out your body, and I'm going to explain that here coming up in the second half. But you had a little story about that, didn't you, Alethea, about losing weight too rapidly?
Well, yeah. I mean, in college, I pretty much was just doing kind of a really stupid diet where I was just calorie counting everything, working out like crazy, and, I was able to lose a lot of weight. I mean, I would be weighing myself daily, and I would be losing, like close to a pound or a half pound every day just from that starvation type diet. And of course, once I started eating like a regular person again, I started gaining it back. And, that's kind of the way a lot of diets are. They try to get you to be as restrictive as possible. And then when you try to eat normally again, you revert back to old negative habits and you start gaining it back really quickly. So even over the holidays this year, I, wasn't weighing myself as often as I was before. And, when I weighed myself yesterday, I was like, I have some work to do again. So it can be easy to slip into old habits if you aren't diligent.
All right. Well, listen, we're coming up against a hard break. Can you stick with me for 6 more minutes into the next segment?
Definitely.
All right. Sounds good. We have on the line Alethea all the way from Honolulu, that's right, folks, Hawaii, and she's talking to us about her experience with weight gain and weight loss with longevity. Now, Alethea, you did the ASAP program a little while ago, did it too quickly, and experienced something called a toxic rash. Is that right?
I've actually done it twice this past year. Once in, I believe it was June, and then I did it again in the month of September. And, the second time I did it, I did get some rash, problems. No, I'm sorry, it was actually the first time I did it. I started breaking out, and I wasn't quite sure why. I tried contacting a naturopathic doctor locally, and even she was stumped. She wasn't really sure what was causing it. It was kind of tripping me out.
Yeah, and we've dialed that in, right? We added some more selenium into your program, and it went away. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is the deal with that, ladies and gentlemen. When you're moving through your life, you're experiencing and you're exposed to any manner of toxic crap that's in the environment. There's pesticides in your food, there's crap in the water, there's crap in the air, and most of the exogenous environmental toxins that we're exposed to are fat soluble. So when we're exposed to them through the food, the water, or the air, they go into the body, and the body's first knee-jerk reaction is to sequester those nasty chemicals into someplace in your body, put it out of the way, sweep it under the rug so it doesn't have to deal with it because they're toxic. Most of these substances are fat soluble. So when you start to lose weight aggressively, emphasis here on aggressively, like a pound a day, that's aggressive weight loss, your body will burn through fat like nobody's business, but when it burns through fat, it liberates all this toxic crap. And as the toxic crap is liberated, it's now in your bloodstream. And when it's in your bloodstream, it invariably goes through the liver, and the liver attempts to pull it apart and detoxify it. But the liver needs nutrition in order to do that. The reason that you were gaining weight in the first place is because your body didn't have enough nutrients. So when you go on an aggressive weight loss program, you're losing a pound a day, it's very, very easy to stir up a hornet's nest and in so doing actually make yourself worse off than you were before you started the fast. Now, the corollary to this is, also true, that when you aggressively lose weight with the ASAP program or any other type of intervention, if your body is nutrified with the Healthy Start Pack and the extra selenium, then your body has the nutrient capacity to be able to handle the toxic load, and so you can lose weight aggressively if you so choose and be safe about it. And this is our message. First we nutrify, and then we detoxify. So my recommendation is a good solid program first for 90 days, and then you can get into an aggressive weight loss. Now, Alethea, how do you feel? I mean, how do you feel physically and mentally moving forward here?
Actually, I've never felt better, honestly. I mean, the nutrients, they not only just help with hunger cravings and blood sugar, but they also really just kind of help with mental clarity, energy levels. I don't get as moody as I used to. I just, overall, my quality of life is so much better, even though I'm not at my weight loss goal yet. Everything else has improved so much. And by taking the OsteoFX, my joint pain has gone away. If I even miss it taking it for a few days, I start feeling a little bit more pain, so I know I need to get back on track. So, yeah, I mean, everything about the longevity system has really just kind of improved my quality of life.
Well, and this is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we talk about. Slow and steady wins the race. And Alethea, is amongst thousands of people in the Longevity Nation who not only have experienced weight loss, slow and steady wins this race, but also the quality of their life has improved. Anybody can starve themselves. That's not what we advocate. What we advocate is making yourself so healthy that the weight falls off naturally. Alethea, you're an inspiration to everybody. I expect you to be the queen of Honolulu within a year. Keep up the good work. Stay in touch. You go get 'em, girl, because you are the last best hope Hawaii has to live long, healthy, and wealthy lives. Thank you so much for all that you do. Alethea from Hawaii has put together a great website. It's got a lot of gluten-free recipe tips, and because we are all in this together, check it out. It's treat-me-good.org. That's treat-me-good.org. treatmegood.org with dashes between the words. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. It's free. Testimonials, gluten-free recipes, you name it, we've got it, because we're all in this together. And remember what Benjamin Franklin said. Ladies and gentlemen, we must all hang together, or most assuredly, we will hang alone. So, it's all about big pharma in this great big world of ours. And the pharmaceutical industries have convinced the MDs that their you-know-what doesn't stink, and they have convinced the MDs that when it comes to health and healing, the only probable, possible, viable, scientifically safe and sound method is the pharmaceutical method, and it's nonsense. I mean, I don't know why anybody in their right mind would believe such a fable. But most medical doctors, the 99.9% of all medical doctors in this country, believe that their therapeutics are the only way. Now, we talk about the metaphysical aspect of holistic medicine here frequently. I talk about it frequently, but I want to clarify the position. I want to make you aware of what I'm really talking to about and what I'm really alluding to here, This is not some airy-fairy, let's just all sit around the campfire, sing Kumbaya, and think ourselves into health. That's not what I'm referring to. What I am referring to is the presence of the soul force inside the human body. This is what holistic medicine, the fundamental tenet of holistic medicine is that your body is endowed with something called the vital force. Whatever it is that brings the light to your eyes, whatever it is that brings consciousness to your being, that's the soul force. And it doesn't exist before birth, and it doesn't exist After death, well, it exists, but not in the body. What makes the body manifest here on the physical plane is the presence of your soul inside the human body. And your soul force, the vital force, whatever you want to call it, the presence of the soul inside your body, which is really you. You know, whatever it is that existed before you were born and which persists after the body dies, that's what I'm referring to, and I'm going to call it the soul force. The soul force has God-given intelligence. It is intelligent. And it is the intelligence of the soul force inside the human body that dictates and manages and orchestrates all of the millions and trillions of biochemical actions that happen inside the body every day. And because MDs do not believe in the presence of the soul force, they do not believe that the body has intelligence. And because they do not believe that the body has intelligence, all of their therapeutics misfire. This is why the only thing that MDs are good for is trauma and surgery, right? You got a bullet in your arm. They can go in there and they can give you drugs that will stop the bleeding momentarily, and they can give you anesthetics so you don't feel the scalpel, and they can, pull the bullet out and stitch the stuff up so that, your body's going to then fix itself, right? Your body then fixes itself, repairs itself all by itself post-surgery. And this is what the MDs completely miss, and it is a gigantic, gargantuan oversight of biblical proportions. Because the MDs disregard the inherent intelligence of the human body, the inherent soul-given intelligence of the human body, all of their therapeutics misfire. And that's why, when an MD tries to intervene with the intelligent biochemistry of the human body, they come up with a man-made biochemical, they throw it into the body, and it gums up the works. This is why drugs are replete with side effects. This is why drugs are replete with side effects, because when you throw a man-made synthetic drug, synthetic substance, into the magnificent architecture, the magnificent machinations of the human being, of the human body, of human biochemistry, you're going to screw something up. It is like, this giant, intricate, complex system of gears and pulleys, and then you just willy-nilly throw a nut or a bolt into there, you're going to mess it up. Well, that's what happens. They mess it up. But because they all mess it up all the time, because they're all in the Boys and Girls Club all together, and because they've got each other's backs, and because the pharmaceutical companies have their backs, when they screw up, we give them a pass. Nobody holds their feet to the fire. And when it comes to weight gain, they have really, really, really dropped the ball. 1/3 of American adults are obese, 1/3. Obesity in our childhood population has risen 20%, 30% in the last 20 years. 1/3 of our childhood population is now obese, and childhood obesity is rapidly rising. It is rapidly rising, not only here, but also in China. Now, in China, you know what they're blaming obesity on? They're blaming obesity on McDonald's. Because McDonald's, has had a presence in China for the last 5 or 10 years, and around the same time frame, a majority of the Chinese population is getting obese now, and it's nonsense. Even from a pragmatic point of view. They've got almost 2 billion people in China. And the small amount of McDonald's, if we were to compare them relatively, it would be like blaming American obesity on one McDonald's restaurant. The numbers just don't add up. But I will tell you what's causing obesity in China. It's easy. The Chinese, because after the Cultural Revolution was over, and during the Cultural Revolution in China, they threw all the doctors and all the lawyers and all the educated people in jail. They executed everybody, and it was a rural society. Everybody was living on farms. And when you were living on farms, you were eating food that was grown on your farm. It was subsistence living, but the people were fertilizing their own food with wood ash, and they were fertilizing their own food with cow dung and sheep dung, and it was subsistence living. But now, since China has abandoned the Cultural Revolution and they're moving strong and long and fast into the material age, Everybody has left the farms and is moving into the cities, and it's a gargantuan workforce that they have in China. In order to feed the gargantuan workforce, they've abandoned the subsistence farms, and they're having gigantic agriculture now on a massive scale that you cannot even comprehend. And what are they fertilizing their crops with? NPK. Sodium, potassium, and phosphorus, because they're going for volume. They're not going for quality. They're going for volume. They don't even know about quality. So, since the Cultural Revolution has ended and everybody's moving into the cities and now everybody is eating, food grown by mega farms, there's no nutritional value left in the food. There's none. They're certainly not putting wood ash in the food. They're not doing that anymore. And by the way, wood ash is, 99% minerals. That's what ash is. When you burn a tree or a plant or a bush, you burn up the carbon, you burn up the sugars, you burn up the cellulose, you burn up the plant fibers, you burn up everything except the minerals. You can't degrade a mineral in a fire. You need a blast furnace to do that, and even then you just melt it, and you can't get rid of it. Very, very difficult. Throw it into the sun, that'll get rid of it. It won't even get rid of it, it'll just transform it. So, because they've abandoned the, small-time subsistence farms that fed a family or two, and they were fertilizing with all the right stuff, their food now is nutritionally deficient. And what happens when you eat nutritionally deficient foods? The wisdom of your body knows that it's running on fumes. And when your body is running on nutrient fumes, it knows it. Because your body is running on nutrient fumes, it forces you to eat more calories. Because it's a desperate attempt to fill its nutritional tank. Why? Because it's smart. Your body knows that if it doesn't get enough vitamin C or selenium or calcium or magnesium or boron or omega-3 or omega-6, you're going to die. But before you're going to die, you're going to suffer. And then you're going to die. And your body knows this because it has soul-given intelligence. And this is what the MDs can't fathom. They just cannot conceptualize a body that has innate God-given intelligence, because MDs are atheistic by profession. MDs are atheistic by profession. Now, really, I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about God. There's a difference between religion and between God. I don't care if you're a Jew. I don't care if you're a Christian. I don't care if you're a Muslim. I don't care if you're born again. I don't care if you're a Mormon. I don't care if you're a Protestant. I don't care if you're a Hindu. If you're a religious person, the fundamental aspect of religion is the relationship between the divine and human beings. And I'm not going to argue which religion is correct, because that's a fool's errand. Who knows which religion is correct? I have my own opinions about that, but it's irrelevant. The relevant fact of the matter is God either exists or God doesn't exist. And there are two types of people in the world. People looking for God and people that don't give a crap about it. And MDs fall into the latter category. Now, there might be MDs that are very religious people, and they go to church every Sunday, or, they do their prayers every afternoon at 3 o'clock or whatever the Muslims do. They might do that. But when they go to work, they throw all that aside. Because allopathic medicine, being reductionistic, argues that if you can't measure it, it doesn't exist. Since nobody's measured God, since nobody's dissected the soul out of the human being, it doesn't exist. If it doesn't exist, it can't have any impact on the health of the human being. And so all of their therapeutics are often skewed because of it. So an MD's treatment for obesity is to cut your stomach out. It's called gastric bypass. They actually go in and they cut your stomach out. Well, actually leave it in, but they take your throat that goes down into your stomach and they bypass it. They attach your throat to the small intestine directly, bypasses the stomach completely. And this, cuts down on your appetite considerably, because it's major, massive surgery. And, if they don't want to do that, they'll go in and they'll tie a band around your stomach and cinch it tight like a belt. That's called lap band therapy. And this is their solution, and it is in the same league as putting leeches on somebody's body to suck the ill humors out. It is in the same category of therapeutics as bleeding a person to death to get rid of the bad humors, because that's why they're sick in the first place. There are bad humors in the body, and you just need to let them out by opening up an artery. This is what the MDs used to do. Nobody railed about it then. It was just accepted medical treatment. Nobody rails against gastric bypass now or lap band surgery. It's accepted medical treatment, and it's insanity. It is insanity. Helping somebody to gain and maintain a proper body weight is easier than falling off of a log. All you need to do is learn how to count calories and learn how to nutrify your body and learn how to stop eating food that generates a net negative effect on the health of your body. So you eliminate the 10 bad foods. Take one healthy start pack, one per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and 1 bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, stopping at 4 bottles of selenium a month. Eliminate the 10 bad foods and dial in a 1,200 calorie a day diet. I don't care if you exercise or not. Really, I don't really even want you to exercise. I don't really want you to go to the gym. You can do that after about the 6th month. Give yourself 6 months off from the gym. Dial in a 1,200 calorie a day diet. Completely nutrify your body. Eliminate the 10 bad foods, and you will lose about a pound a week. Losing a pound a week is much easier and more healthy on your body than losing a pound a day. Ladies and gentlemen, get real, get nutrified, get healthy, lose weight, live long, and prosper. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Stick around. Sandra from Michigan is calling with a question about colitis. Thanks so much for the call, Sandra. You are live.
Hi, thanks. Actually, I had something called proctitis, but I'm on your supplements. I've been off the gluten for, I think, almost a year.
Yeah.
But I'm still having trouble with some of the supplements, like the tangy tangerine. And I really think it's because I'm 56 years old. I'm sure my gut has been pretty much through the ringer with all that stupid gluten stuff I was unaware of for many years. So I'm just wondering how long it can take to heal this, because I am taking that aloe stuff that you have, and it's healed it a lot, and I don't have the bleeding or the mucus or any of that stuff. It's just, I'm sure there's still, nutrients going into parts of my body it shouldn't be, and that's why my body is rejecting them. I'm getting the picture here.
All right, I get it. So on a scale of 1 to 10, if before you started with us a year ago, your gastrointestinal symptoms were a 10 out of a 10, what are they now?
I'm going to say they're like a 2.
All right, so they've gotten about 80% better, right? There's been an 80% improvement in your symptoms. So you used to have bleeding, you used to have mucus, and all that's gone.
Yeah.
Has other stuff improved as well? Your sleep, your energy, your mood, your skin?
I will say I could tell I was getting like a little, I don't want to say heartburn so much, but some kind of a weird little indigestion thing that's going away. I'm sure I was super calcium deficient.
Yeah. All right. So
what? All your shows,
okay. Very, very good. Excellent. So what symptoms are left? What is it specifically that you're still hanging on?
It's still like irritable, kind of like an IBS-y kind of thing going on, where some days I'm kind of constipated, other days it's kind of like a little bit diarrhea, but I think it's really from the supplements being a little strong for me, and so...
How do you take how do you take the supplements? How do you take the Beyond Tangy Tangerine?
Well, I'm taking it in a very diluted way, and it even takes super diluted.
Well, lay it out for me. Tell me how you do it.
I will take, for example, 1 scoop in 20 ounces of water and drink it. Maybe it takes an hour and a half to 2 hours to drink it.
Okay. But what's your blood type? Do you know?
A.
All right. Very good. Have you ever tried the Beyond Tangy Tangerine in yogurt?
No, dairy's been a little... Well, actually, I am eating a little more dairy now, but it wasn't super agreeable for me. But no, I have never tried that in the yogurt.
All right, so here's what would happen in the past when you ate yogurt or did dairy. What were the side effects of that?
Gas.
Okay. All right, so I think that you're going to have a different experience with it now. So here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to go to the supermarket or go to Whole Foods or Health Food. And I want you to get either Brown Cow or Stonyfield Farm yogurt. And I want you to get all right, I want you to get their full-fat, plain yogurt. Full-fat, it's got the cream on top, all right?
Yeah, I know what it is.
All right. Once you get it, I want you to open it up. I want you to mix everything together. Mix the cream right in with the yogurt with a big spoon. Mix it all together. And then I want you to do 1 scoop of yogurt in a little bowl. 1 scoop of Beyond Tangy Tangerine, rather, in a little bowl of yogurt.
Okay.
All right, and I want you to take about 30 minutes to eat it. It's going to actually taste pretty good. The Beyond Tangy Tangerine, because it has the non-glycemic sweeteners in it, it's kind of cloyingly sweet. And when you mix it in with the yogurt, which has kind of a tangy feel to it, it cuts the edge off of the cloying sweetness. And if you put a little cinnamon on top of that, it really makes a great deal of difference. So try the Beyond Tangy Tangerine in the full-fat yogurt a little bit at a time, and then increase the dosage. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. And if it still gives you gas, what you can do is before you take it, about 15 minutes before you take it, take an Ultimate Enzyme. Take one or two Ultimate Enzymes before, and that should help the digestion. Really, listen.
One more little question, too.
All right, well, so we're up against a hard break here, so stick around. I'll take you at the top of the next hour. I appreciate the call. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. It's the luckiest day in your life, isn't it? You've tuned in to Fire Your MD Now. 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. Lines are open.